Alright, so Kovzar, I think I said that right, wanted to see the Volgun's episode on SCP-3125. It's called the Escapee. It's a Cognitohazard SCP. The cover art for this thing looks absolutely sick. It looks like a starfish crossed with Cthulhu, and they had a baby and then threw it out of a passenger window of a high-speed moving car. In other words, it looks absolutely disturbing. But it's been a little bit since I've seen like a legitimately real 100% creep show of an SCP. I'm wondering if this is going to be that. I know it's going to be good. Let's just get into it. I'm going to shut up. Let's just get into it. Let's have some fun. I set the mood lighting. Here we go.
Good afternoon, everyone.
That is so
My
sick
name is
looking.
Dr. Miller, and the SCP we're going to be looking at today is SCP-3125. Object Class: Keter. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-3125 is kept inside Cognitohazard Containment Unit 3125 on the first floor of Site-41. This containment unit is a 10 by 15 by 3 meter cuboidal room clad in layers of lead, soundproofing, and telepathic shielding.
Lovely.
Access is through an airlock system at one end of the containment unit. This airlock is programmed to allow only one person to enter the containment unit at a time and to remain locked until this person exits before allowing another person to enter. Under no circumstances may any coherent information be allowed to leave the containment unit. This includes written and electronic notes, photographs, audio and video recordings, sound, electromagnetic and particle-based signals, and psi emanations. During the exit cycle, a purge system rigged to the airlock flushes the occupant's memory by flooding the airlock with amnestic gas for 3 minutes. A senior Anti-Memetics Division staff member must visit SCP-3125 every 6 weeks or 42 days. End of file.
Input numerical passcode.
I love when he does stuff like this.
Accepted. Applying anti-memetic countermeasures. Stand by.
Item Number: SCP-3125. Object Class: Keter. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-3125 is subject to inverted containment protocols and is present everywhere in reality except for those places which have been specifically purged of its influence.
What?
The interior of Cognitohazard Containment Unit 3125 on Site-41, where this document resides, is the only location in the world to have been successfully purged in this way. This containment unit is a 10 by 15 by 3 meter cuboidal room clad in layers of lead, soundproofing material, and telepathic shielding. Access is through an airlock system at one end of the containment unit. This airlock is programmed to allow only one person to enter the containment unit at a time,
I knew this one was going to be good.
and to remain locked until this person exits before allowing another person to enter. Under no circumstances may any coherent information be allowed to leave the containment unit. This includes written and electronic notes, photographs, audio and video recordings, sound, electromagnetic and particle-based signals, and psi emanations. A purge system rigged to the airlock flushes the occupant's memory by flooding the airlock with amnestic gas for 3 minutes during the exit cycle. An alternate SCP entry must be maintained in the main Foundation database, giving only technical specifications of the containment unit, provisions for senior Anti-Memetics Division staff to visit the unit's interior on a regular basis, and no description.
Lovely.
Description: SCP-3125 is an extremely large, see full theta-dimensional fractal topology attachment 13, highly aggressive, anomalous metastasized meme complex originating externally to our reality and now partially intersecting it. SCP-3125 is adapted for survival in an eidetic ecology considerably more violent and hostile than our own. Here, our own refers to human headspace, the set of all ideas which humans have or are biologically capable of having. Because humans have no natural exposure to ideas as aggressive as SCP-3125, human minds have no protective evolutionary adaptations against it. Individuals possessed of SCP-3125 become incapable of entertaining weaker, conventional ideas, and become instead wholly bodily subordinate to the purpose of serving and disseminating the core concepts of SCP-3125. In addition, although undergoing no outwardly visible physical alteration, they cease to be externally recognizable as human. SCP-3125 is not yet entirely present in our reality. Upon its arrival, the highly interconnected nature of human knowledge exchange systems means that it will take no longer than 12 hours, possibly as few as 4 hours, to encompass, dominate, and replace all human thought. At this point, humanity as an abstract concept, along with all attendant abstracts such as civilization, culture, society, community, and family, will have ceased to exist. The Foundation terms such an eventuality an MK-class end-of-the-world scenario. The Foundation possesses numerous proven techniques for arresting the spread of such aggressive idea complexes, but these are all rendered unworkable in practice by SCP-3125's autonomic defense response or boundary layer. Fully assembling a mental picture of SCP-3125 and perceiving its true shape causes SCP-3125 in turn to be able to perceive the observer. It then attacks the observer, killing them. The mechanism of the attack is unclear, but appears to be at least partially physical. Mental bystanders, individuals whose thoughts and ideas resemble those of the observer, are also attacked. This invariably includes the observer's entire extended research group and often their close family, parents and offspring. The attack has the net effect of erasing all knowledge both of SCP-3125 and its attack from the world. This informational numbing effect performs a similar function to the anesthetic saliva of a mosquito's bite, enabling SCP-3125 to evade detection prior to its full incarnation. Foundation staff discovering SCP-3125 may be able to escape its attack via prompt use of amnestic medication to erase their knowledge of it. In either case, the net result is that the interior of a suitably shielded containment unit is the only location where it is safe to observe, record, or even acknowledge the existence of SCP-3125. Outside of a containment unit,
I love this stuff. It is so... Yes, this is so good. I love this.
A true written description of SCP-3125 would constitute a lethal cognitohazard. SCP-3125 could be effectively neutralized using a machine proposed by the late Dr. Bartholomew Hughes called an irreality amplifier. See schematics, attachment 129. However, as well as requiring tremendous material resources, this machine could not be constructed without its builders understanding why it was being built, which would require understanding of SCP-3125, which would prove fatal to the project. No means of neutralizing SCP-3125 using only the resources in this room is known. History. Due to the described defense mechanism, SCP-3125's observation history is almost entirely missing. In particular, it is unclear exactly how this containment unit came to be built and how these containment procedures were established. Much data has been accrued in this containment unit over the course of successive visits by Foundation researchers. This data was brought from the outside in the hope of being useful and left here in accordance with the containment procedures. In addition to this database entry, the reader will find multiple electronic copies of the Foundation database, academic datasets of all kinds, and extensive public news archives.
Lovely.
As is to be expected, much of this data is not germane to the topic of containing SCP-3125. Nevertheless, correlation and analysis by successive visitors has allowed the following facts to emerge. Although SCP-3125 is not yet fully present in our reality, its indirect effects and foreshocks, for example, SCP, and SCP,
Lovely.
are easily discovered by any well-equipped memetics research project. Memetics research
He picked the music perfectly for this one, I've gotta say it.
is today a much diminished science from when it was at its peak. In mid-2008, there existed more than 400 institutions pursuing research likely to uncover SCP-3125, including government agencies, military branches, private corporations, independent laboratories, university research projects, and notable amateur groups. Many of these were groups of interest or internal divisions within groups of interest. None of these groups still exist except for the Foundation's Anti-Memetics Division.
Huh.
Almost nobody in the world is consciously aware of this decline, and explanations for the disappearance of these groups have not been forthcoming. Simple deduction gives that all of these groups eventually discovered SCP-3125 and were consumed by it, and that this is, in fact, the inevitable fate of all competent memetics research. The Anti-Memetics Division's persistence is attributed to its specialist training and its ready access to reliable amnestic medication.
Right.
Despite this, the Division too has shrunk considerably in recent years, from a reported staff of well over 4,000 people in 2012 to, as of September 2015, 125. This figure is on track to reach 0 before the end of 2015. Over the same period, the Division's physical worldwide presence has similarly shrunk, from a network of sites and smaller outposts on every continent to this single site, Site 41. In particular, the Division's headquarters at Site 167 are now missing from the Division's collective memory and presumed neutralized by SCP-3125's concealment response.
This is good.
Addendum. Further analysis of the available data, specifically architectural diagrams of Site 41, Attachment 38, indicates the existence of a second containment unit on Site 41 conforming to the same basic design philosophy as this one. This second unit, S041B30000, was built 210 meters below ground level. It features identical broad-spectrum informational cladding, but has more than 1,000 times the volume of Cognitohazard Containment Unit 3125, along with an amnestic airlock large enough to ingest a 20-foot equivalent shipping container. Information relating to the date of construction and purpose of S041B30000 is absent from Foundation records and is presumed to have been deliberately erased. The unit itself is hermetically sealed and has been for an indeterminate period of time. Regardless of S041B30000's intended purpose, it, like any such containment unit, is capable of acting as a shelter from SCP-3125. Addendum 2.
And the rest, hopefully, is blindingly obvious. S041B30000 was originally constructed to house a long-term project to construct Hugh's irreality amplifier. While that's been going on, the rest of us have been fighting an unconscious war in order to buy time. We have been losing, but losing as slowly as humanly possible. The time we have bought is now up. It's an extremely bad sign that nobody inside S041B30000 has broken the seal yet, but there is no ground left for us to seed. And there are no more bodies to throw into SCP-3125's maw to slow it down. Va is here.
Va?
Ready or not. I'm going to go to S041B30000 and use the machine. I think I can get the information out through the airlock. I think I can get to the vault alive. This was the plan. It's become garbled in the retelling because of variables, but I know that this was my plan, because I know myself. What else could it have been? Standard procedure is that I have to tell you what to do next if this doesn't work. That's the asynchronous research covenant. But I don't have a good picture of who you can even be. Reading this and alive. In your scenario, there is no machine. Hughes is missing. I'm dead. The site is ruined. And how'd you even get in here? Can you be the Foundation? Are you conscious? Is there a single word of this you comprehend? You live in a world bathed with SCP-3125. That's the lost condition. I can't help someone who doesn't exist. Martin Wheeler, Chief of Anti-Memetics, November 30th, 2015.
Addendum 3.
I found your body. And finding your body was a powerful disorientating sensation for me, I don't mind admitting. I used to know Martin. During the brief period in which I knew him, he wasn't one to admit defeat as easily as you. Still, that was a long time ago. Far be it from me to tell you your business, but I fear you missed a trick. From the evidence I can see, this was never the only Anti-Memetics Division site. There were others. I imagine they're now all effectively invisible to most passers-by, of course, just like this one. But I presume that they, just like this one, still physically exist. Your plan, I think, was in place for longer than you know. And since you weren't at liberty to retain its details, you put it into action more than once. There is another vault fitting the description. Truck-sized amnestic airlock and all. S167-001-6183. Site 167 is a non-entity, of course, which is most likely why you missed it. It's likely ruined, and it's quite definitely a long goddamn way from here on foot. But still, I think it's better than half a chance. I could die in this boondoggle too, naturally, as the world has become something of a horror show of late. In any case, I can trust that anyone following in my footsteps and reading these additional words will have the presence of mind to pursue the same basic strategy. Still existing despite everything. Adam Wheeler, Interloper, May 4th, 2017.
I love it. All right,
This concludes today's lecture. Thank you for listening, if indeed you still are, and you are all dismissed. Goodbye.
This was absolutely outstanding, okay? This was excellent. How do you fight something that by sheer virtue of you knowing about it, it can destroy you? This does remind me of other SCPs, but I love the way he set the mood for this. This was excellent. This is why the Volgun is so good in my estimation. It's because he knows how to present his information, but also give it that gravitas that it needs to have. I like the Exploring series because he breaks things down, but I like this because it's straight up and in your face, and he does so much work within it. In any case, guys, the Volgun is easily easily in the top 3 for SCP presenters for lore that I have been exposed to by you guys, and I appreciate every single one that you guys have put in to the request series, because this has been a learning experience and it's been fun. In any case, guys, as I shove my head with more useless information, one of these days they're going to study my brain and realize that I was a chimpanzee. Guys, all of Volgun's links are going to be in the description down below. Go check out his stuff. He has this real nifty link where it has all of his links down in there. Check him out, guys. Check out his merch. Check out his Patreon. I think he has one. I'm pretty sure he does. I know I do. If you guys want to help out the channel, easiest way to do that is just hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Just leave a comment down below telling me how much the Cthulhu starfish freaked you out. All that being said, guys, this was excellent. This was the highest ranked video for SCP on the server, and the highest one overall. I will catch you guys next time. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. There's a lot of SCP left to watch, and there's a lot of SCP left to learn. And I'll be here with you for all of it. I'll catch you guys next time.